Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Sandra Peart, Dean of the Jepson School of Leadership Studies, and it's my very great pleasure to welcome you to Prelude, the ceremony at which we induct our students into the class at Jepson. Our faculty, our staff, and our current students are absolutely delighted to welcome all of you into the Jepson family, as we call it. We're going to do everything possible to make sure that we mentor you carefully in the future. That could mean helping you conduct research as you conduct your honors thesis research in the years ahead, helping you obtain and structure an internship, perhaps preparing you to compete in the Ethics Bowl, which is coming up soon, or also very soon, teaching you critical thinking in the near future. I'd like to tell you a few things about the Jepson class of 2017. This year we had the very largest applicant pool in our 22-year history. You have to go back to the 1990s in order to find a class as the second to largest class of applicants, and this year we substantially outdid that class. So we kept the quality of the class quite selective, and we are now going to admit the largest class in the history of the Jepson School. We all like to think we're special, but this group of students is actually very special indeed. I want to let you know that your professors are also tremendous and also very special. They're a prolific group. They're excellent teachers who will continue to open up a world of ideas and problems for you to think about from a variety of perspectives: anthropology, history, political science, philosophy, religious studies, organizational behavior, and psychology. 100 of you will join the school this year. You're an extremely diverse and accomplished group. Among you are many athletes, both at the varsity and the club level. We have Greek officers among you, honor and judicial council members, theater, performance, and music students, orientation aides, student government association members. Your average GPA is 3.35. Welcome to all of you. We're excited about tonight's program. Please join me now as Win Han, Jepson class of 2016, provides some reflections on the intellectual life at Jepson.
Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking JSGA for inviting me to speak tonight. This weekend, I had the privilege of attending the International Leadership Association's 16th Annual Global Conference in San Diego. Jepson sent me and 4 other leadership studies majors across the country to compete in a student case study competition. We didn't win the competition, but we learned a lot preparing the case, and the conference itself was an eye-opening experience. I'm so thankful that Jepson made it possible for our team to travel and compete in this competition. But above all, this conference made me incredibly grateful for my unique leadership education. Surrounded by thousands of leadership scholars, practitioners, and educators, I gained a much deeper appreciation for the true value of a Jepson education. The conference theme was Conscious Leading for Global Change, the emergence of our collective realities. It may seem like a mouthful at first, but the emergence of our collective realities is an interesting concept. There are many different approaches to the study of leadership, and there's a wealth of diverse scholarship within the field. The conference featured members from a variety of different backgrounds, and one of the more consistent motifs was the ability to adopt a new perspective. The capacity to consciously and effortfully change your perspective is essential to a deeper understanding of any subject, but it's particularly relevant for the diverse field of leadership studies. In fact, some people at the ILA conference went through great lengths to try on a new perspective. There was leadership yoga, leadership jazz, and leadership body art. One speaker even told us about her spiritual vision quest induced by a 3-day fast in the desert. No joke. Something really special about Jepson is that you don't have to go to these great lengths to look at life and leadership through a new lens. My first leadership studies class, Leadership in Humanities, immediately comes to mind. This class is one of the reasons I applied to Jepson in the first place. Here, I had my first glimpse at the structure of a philosophical argument. While I left high school with the ability to write a persuasive paper, I never took the time to identify what exactly made an argument valid. By learning how to simplify philosophical arguments into their core premises, I gained a deeper respect for people's opinions and began making a conscious effort to understand exactly why people think the way they do. All of a sudden, I began to find myself looking for common ground with people who held diametrically opposing views. I learned to think from a different perspective. No vision quest required. Whether it's through community service in your Justice and Civil Society class, or through the required internship, or through the engaging questions of our multidisciplinary faculty, Jepson will force you to adopt a new perspective. It will not only change the way you look at leadership, but also the way you perceive the world around you. However, your teachers and advisors can only do so much. It's up to you to engage the material, to look for important questions, and to apply the lessons you learn here into your own lives. Jepson is a really special place, but it's up to you to make the most of your time here. So stay open to new perspectives and keep up the good work. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Good evening. My name is Emmy Morse, and I'm honored to be tonight's class of 2015 speaker. First, I want to welcome you, class of 2017, to the Jepson family. Congratulations on your acceptance to the Jepson School and on your choice to major or minor in leadership studies. You've made an incredibly important and the correct decision. I remember sitting exactly where you all were sitting 2 years ago. I was an overly excited sophomore who was in the process of exploring all the possibilities that were open to her. At the time, I was completely unaware that certain resources even existed. I was a little bit nervous about where this Jepson journey would take me, how many research papers I would have to write, and whether I would be brave enough to take Dr. Chula's ethics class. If you haven't heard of her, you'll hear from her in just a few minutes. It turns out that I was brave enough, and I'd encourage you to also be brave and challenge yourself throughout your time in Jepson. But on that night 2 years ago, I was mostly excited to learn about all the possibilities that Jepson offered. I'm here tonight to talk to you a little bit about some of those possibilities and to encourage you to take full advantage of all that is offered to you at this incredible school. I know some of you personally, but simply knowing you as the new graduating class in Jepson is enough for me to proudly say that you all are ambitious, you are inspired, passionate go-getters who are here to take full advantage of what's in front of you. And I know that if it's not in front of you, you're here to find a way to make it happen. Don't let go of that passion, that fire inside of you that pushes you to do better, go further, and work harder. Use it to your advantage. If there's a conference you'd like to go to or attend to present your research, there's a grant for that. If you'd like to do your own research on something from leaders in the Civil War to political campaigns to the school-to-prison pipeline, there's funding and caring faculty advisors and mentors for that too. If you'd like to give back to your Jepson community by listening to your fellow students, planning events, and making the student experience the best it possibly can be, you can run for a position on the Jepson Student Government Association. The possibilities in Jepson will never cease to amaze you. Take advantage. And while being selected as a member of the Jepson class of 2017 is a great honor, you all also have a great responsibility to use what you've been given to give back. Pay it forward. Whether that looks like serving as a senator on JSGA, working as a Jepson student assistant, continuing to serve at your justice site throughout your time here, or doing research or starting a program to benefit the city of Richmond or the community at UR, it is your responsibility to give back to the communities who support you throughout your time here. Don't forget that. Congratulations, class of 2017. We're all so very excited to see where your individual Jepson paths will take you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kiana Madu, and I'm a student of the class of 2016 as well as the Vice President of Public Relations for the Jepson Student Government Association. Today, I have the honor of introducing our featured speaker, Dr. Joanne Chula. Dr. Joanne Chula graduated the University of Maryland with a degree in philosophy and continued her education, receiving an MA in philosophy from the University of Delaware and a PhD from Temple University. Dr. Chula is not only a distinguished professor at the University of Richmond, she also taught at Nijrode Business University in the Netherlands, the University of Fort Hare in South Africa, and was a visiting scholar in the JFK School of Government within Harvard University. She is also a distinguished author, authoring over 10 books and many articles, as well as receiving the award for Best Business Book in 2000 from the editors of Amazon.com. Her book was called The Working Life. One of her most important achievements, to us at least, was the fact that she was one of the founding members of the Jepson School of Leadership. I am again honored to introduce our featured speaker for the evening, Dr. Joanne Chula.
Good evening. Well, I'm really honored to be here and delighted to see a class of 100 students. I was one of the founders of the school, and along with 3 other colleagues and 2 deans, we just made this place up, and now it's a reality. So I thought this would be a good time to reflect back on the founding of the school and what we had in mind. And so I pulled out this document that many of my colleagues have seen. When we started designing the school, it was in 1991, and we would sit together and have these brainstorms about what would we want the school to be like and what would the curriculum be like, etc. And after one of our brainstorming sessions where we talked about the mission of the school and our values and our ideals, I drafted this statement, and the date of the statement, I still have it in my computer. It's gone through many formattings. The date of the statement is September 3rd, 1991. So let me read to you what we as founders of the school wanted for the school. First of all, our mission. The Jepson School develops people who understand the moral responsibilities of leadership and who are prepared to exercise leadership in service to society. We then went on and said, we were given a mission by the university. All of us came here from different schools. I came from the Wharton School, a colleague from Vanderbilt and other places. And our mission was to, for the Jepson School, was to educate people for and about leadership. That was the sentence given to us by the president of the university and a faculty committee that worked on making the preparations before we came here for the Jepson School. So let me just read you a little bit about what we wanted for this school. All right, the purpose of the Jepson School is to educate people for and about leadership. To fulfill our purpose, we believe that the institution must strive to develop moral character as well as technical competence. Our educational mission begins with a moral ideal. We aim to develop honest, caring, and socially responsible leaders who are fair, confident, and self-improving. The Jepson School views leadership as stewardship and inspires students to use their abilities to serve society in a variety of ways. This moral vision informs the teaching, research, and administration of the school. So let's look at what Education for Leadership is about. Education for Leadership demands sharp critical and analytical skills. A capable leader must be able to understand people and identify problems. He or she needs these skills to determine what to discard, what to preserve, and what to change. This requires the ability to interpret information, isolate what is relevant, or addressing particular problems to achieve larger goals. Critical thinking is not an end in itself, but a means of developing vision and encouraging imaginative problem solving. Many subject areas that we will teach at this school will nurture the capacity to think critically. So what's educating people about leadership for? Educating about leadership requires an interdisciplinary program. This Jepson faculty has backgrounds in a variety of areas that Dean Peart just discussed. The school also uses the knowledge and talents of the faculty throughout the university. Our curriculum consists of more than just a number of disciplines. The Jepson School serves as a nexus for connecting and integrating the insights of a variety of disciplines and understanding the complex phenomena of leadership. Our teaching methods extend beyond the traditional classroom. The school will serve as an incubator for the new and innovative pedagogical techniques. In addition to maintaining high standards of scholarship, the Jepson School program emphasizes experiential learning, classroom exercises and simulations, opportunities for students to reflect on their behavior, their interactions with others. Students will have ample opportunity to interact with leaders, and we have this, a vigorous lecture series where we have leaders from all over. Our Visiting Scholar program, we have visitors, international visitors coming in, and we also have visiting executive programs where we bring in business people, people from the community to interact with our students. Participation in internship programs is an important way to begin to apply theory and practice. Importantly, the faculty of the Jepson School believes that research is what makes them better teachers. They are dedicated to advancing the field of leadership studies by building upon and critically evaluating existing theoretical, empirical, and practical knowledge. Since the Jepson School is the first school of leadership studies in the country, it has a duty to serve as an exemplar and resource for other schools. As a Center for Leadership Studies, the Jepson School will forge ties with other institutions. And lastly, we emphasize the fact that the Jepson School will become what makes the university distinctive from other schools like it. All of those things have evolved over the years, and here's where all of you come in. So why are you here? And don't expect a great existential argument from me, though I, as a philosopher, would be tempted to give you one. Why are you here? Well, first of all, you're not here because we decided you would be a great leader. So get over it. You're here because we decided that you might be a very strong addition to our learning community. You're here because one of the things you'll learn is there's no back row in the Jepson School classroom. You're here to participate. You're here to help the people around you learn. You're here to emerge and develop yourself. A lot of people, when we started the school, said, oh, is this some kind of master trade school? Are you going to create this special group of leaders in the world? And we all kind of cringed at that idea because we've learned two things over the years. First of all, we've decided not to worry too much. We don't do leadership training here. We don't worry too much about it. But one of the things we've discovered about our students is when you study leadership, you find yourself inclined to want to give it a try. So our students are very active in all sorts of organizations. So we hope that you will give it a try at some point. But more importantly, what are we teaching here? Well, fundamentally, we're trying to teach a couple things. In any democracy, a citizen should be prepared at any moment to take leadership. That's what being a citizen in a democracy is about. And certainly our democracy is having a rather bumpy time of it these days, and we certainly want to work on creating good citizens, people who are capable when the time comes and when it's necessary to take leadership. So you don't all have to become presidents of companies or presidents of the United States. We don't mind if you do. But the point is, you have to be a person who understands that you're responsible for the world that you live in. And hopefully, by studying leadership, we will give you some of the skills that you need to be able to take on the moral responsibilities of leadership. So welcome to the Jepson School, and I look forward to meeting you as the years go on. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kirsten Soderlin. I'm one of the Associate Deans at the Jepson School of Leadership Studies, and I've had the great pleasure to work with the students who are sitting before us today for the past 2 years, really. I've talked with them at information sessions. They've come to justice orientation sessions with me. They've come to information sessions about the admissions process. Some of them are very tired of hearing me speak. So this should hopefully be the last time you have to listen to me for a while, folks. But it's my pleasure to be here this evening to acknowledge each and every individual who is a member of our new class. And I will point out that we do have predominantly the class of 2017 here, but we have 3 individuals who are actually members of the class of 2016. And I will acknowledge that when they come up to get their certificate. So I have a few notes about the next portion of our program. One of those is that as the students well know, lots of students, faculty, and staff have been under the weather in recent weeks. And so this evening we have decided to forego handshaking in an effort to keep everybody healthy for Thanksgiving break and the finals and all of the rest. So we hope that you will excuse this decision, but our good dean will be here to give you your certificate, but we are going to relinquish handshaking for the evening to keep everyone as healthy as possible. Secondly, I'm going to do my best to pronounce everybody's name correctly, and as you all know, I was trying to catch you on your way in. I am very, very wary. My name is mispronounced regularly, so I hope that I do justice to each of your names, and I hope that I heard you correctly as you gave me that information. I'm going to acknowledge a few individuals this evening. I'm going to make certain that I call their names so that they can be acknowledged, although they weren't able to join us for the program. Unfortunately, they had class this evening and could not miss a class that only meets 1 night a week. And I would ask that as the class comes up, they're going to come forward. You're not going to be up on the stage, so you're going to be coming in front of the stage. I just want to remind everybody that we want to make certain that you go back to the table after you receive your certificate and sign the book. We will have 2 student government members there to sort of supervise that process, but we want to make certain that we have all of your names acknowledged at this induction ceremony. And the last item I would ask is that we just ask that you hold applause until we get through the whole class. It's a large class. We will play some music so that it is not very, very silent as Dr. Soderlin tries to read 100 names appropriately. Hopefully it will be music that people approve of, although other years we've gotten jibes about the choice of musical selection. But what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to ask our first student, it's all on Molly's shoulders right now. I'm going to have Molly bring her group up to the side here so that we can get started, and I'm going to ask Dean Peart and Charlotte Denoyer, the Jepson Student Government President, to join us up front. Shannon, are you ready? Do you guys want to come on this side, do you think? I don't. What? Okay. Molly Aronson, Sarah Abel, Haneen Abu Anil, Alec Akamondo, Alexander Alexakos, who is a member of the class of 2016, Amy Alexander, Kenneth Anderson, Domniki Athanasiadou, Trace Baker, Agatha Baranowski, Andrew Beck, who could not be with us this evening, Elizabeth Beers, Timothy Benedict, Elizabeth Podolsky, Abby Bond, who is a member of the class of 2016, Alexandra Brown, Dalian Simalatin, Lang Yong Cheng, Daniel Kuhn, Deirdre Curtin, Chelsea Davidson, Jennifer Davis, Taylor Dietrich, who is a member of the class of 2016, Rachel Dumay, Erin Dunstan, Colleen Egan. Lindsay Egbers. Ariana Fasulo. Cornelia Thiertz. Peter Foster. Ryan Foster. John Fransecki. Ryan Gabriel. Paul Galliano. Camilla Gauden Gonzalez. Lauren Gill. Haley Gray Hain. Kieran Gregory. Aliza Gradowski. Allison Grogan. David Gutlein. Joseph Hahn. Daniel Heifetz. Jack Henderson. Caitlin Herring. Megan Hill. Stark Jet the Sixth. Molly Johnson. Carney Judge. Yasmin Karam. Matthew Casabom. Joseph Kilgallen. Benjamin Pornegay III. Kyle Lauletta. Grant Lawler. Christy Lightborn. Tyler Lippositz. Amy Littleson. Cassidy Lowther. Charles Mack. Marissa Manzi, who could not be here with us this evening. Ivana Marshall. Nicole Maurer. Robert McCurdy. Ellie Mashova. August Oberbeck, who could not be with us this evening. Lindsay Palmisano. Oliver Parker. Kelly Power. Madison Price. Kelly Quinn. Emma Rattini. Catherine Rockwell. Alyssa Ross. Brittany Salisi. Annette Shefflin. Lindsay Schneider. Jared Sigelman. Benjamin Simpson. Deveni Smith. Courtney Sahlberg. Lindsay Stevens. Matthew Zaluga. Catherine Tanner. Stephen Tapp, who could not be with us this evening. Arthur Tarty, Jr. Melissa Teal. Caroline Oots. Fairley Fairhay. Emily Vogt. Brandon Waller. Matthew Waxman. Laurel Wayne. Caroline Weber. Catherine Whiteman. Ilana Wiljanen. Matthew Williamson. Eliza Worcester. Joshua Young. And last but not least, the young woman who will get the largest applause at commencement in 2017, as she will be the last person called to the stage, Laura Zanin. So we're trying to move our students through the book signing over here. But at this time, I would like to turn the podium over to Charlotte Denoyer, who is this year's president of the Jepson Student Government Association. Many of you, I think we have 13? We have 12 members of the class of 2017 who have submitted platforms and will be running for 3 sophomore seats in the Jepson Student Government Association. So hats off, because clearly this is a class that wants to get involved immediately. So I'm going to turn the reins over to Charlotte to let her give you some thoughts and some guidance as this year's president of student government. And what might be the quickest prelude ceremony in recent years will then be able to adjourn and go out to the fabulous reception that awaits us. So, Charlotte.
Thank you, Dean Soderlund, and welcome, Jepson class of 2017. Once again, my name is Charlotte Denoyer, and I'm your current Jepson Student Government Association president. First of all, I'd like to thank all of our speakers this evening, Dr. Chula, Emmy, Gwyn, for your wonderful insights. As you can see, the Jepson School is truly appreciated by all of its members, from its founders to its students. Class of 2017, prepare to be challenged. Your teachers will push you not only to form opinions about the world, but also to have strong reasons for holding them. Your peers are some of the most brilliant and motivated people you will ever encounter. Get to know each and every one of them and learn from them. Jepson is not an easy school. It requires dedication, engagement inside your classrooms, but also in the Richmond community. You will benefit greatly from the support of your peers and faculty, but you have to commit yourselves to fully see an effect. Each of you is involved in numerous extracurricular activities. For some, it's D1 athletics, Others, it's a social or academic fraternity. More still are involved in clubs and club sports. But all of you are Jepson students. What makes this community so strong is that we bring together diverse backgrounds and opinions in a supportive learning environment that causes us to fully consider and reevaluate everything that we believe. As Jepson students, you will learn to critically think and determine sound arguments from fallacies. You'll become civically engaged within the Richmond community and potentially go on a police ride-along or visit the Richmond City Jail. You will learn to defend ethics even when the ethical choice seems out of reach, and you will be inspired to do everything in your power to help others. You each picked Jepson because leadership means something to you. Now it's my turn to explain what leadership and Jepson mean to me. A leader is one who knows when to lead and when to be led, who steps up to the plate when no one else will, but most importantly, who is not afraid to have their voice heard. Jepson has taught me to not be afraid to share my thoughts and voice my opinions. It has been the place and environment in which I have found myself and my aspirations. Most significantly, Jepson has shown me how important it is to make a difference and create positive change. My dream for you is that you fully embrace this community and opportunity. It seems like just yesterday that I was sitting where you are now, listening to Victoria Lyon's advice for my Jepson class. So if you remember anything from this speech, I hope it is that your time at Jepson is precious and fleeting. Make the most of it. Go to Jepson events like the Welcome Back Fiesta, that's when we have Chipotle, and coffee with professors, there's cookies too, because you will not regret the additional chance to be involved. Take advantage of the numerous fellowship and research grants to enjoy the best internship and learning opportunities possible. Join the Jepson student government to represent your class and provide our students with everything they need for future success. Do what is in your power to make a difference in all of your activities, because each of you has the potential to be a great leader and an even better individual. I will now end with a quote from Bob Jepson's commencement speech in 2003 that I believe embodies the dream he has for all Jepson students. The school is named in his honor. Dare to dream. Commit yourselves to excellence. Live your lives with genuine concern for others. Maintain absolute integrity and high ethics. Be strong enough to take risks and learn from failure. Develop a tolerance for stress, and importantly, live your lives with a sense of stewardship. Thank you, and please enjoy the desserts at the reception, and don't forget your shirts if they're under your seats.